life, there are times when we vaguely sense that someone doesn't like us, but it's hard to pinpoint the exact reason. These signs can be very subtle and difficult to detect, especially if the person is intentionally hiding their true feelings. However, recognizing these small cues can help us maintain appropriate distance and protect our mental well-being. Below are 11 subtle signs that may indicate someone doesn't have a favorable view of you, especially the 11th sign. 1. Brief eye contact. Eye contact is a way to show connection, trust, and understanding between two people. When we look directly into each other's eyes, it's not only a form of communication but also a sign of sincerity, affirming, "I'm here and I'm listening to you." However, when someone avoids eye contact, especially in situations that call for closeness, it may indicate they want to keep their distance and aren't open to connection. When avoiding eye contact, they tend to focus on their phone, look around the room, or fixate on an object to avoid looking at you. This is not merely a sign of distraction. It reflects that they don't want to bond with or pay full attention to you. Their gaze quickly glances over you, then shifts away, never lingering long enough to establish a connection, which can make the conversation feel shallow and leave you feeling a sense of disappointment. When eye contact becomes brief, you might feel that they're not truly present in that moment with you. For relationships that once shared intimacy, this can be painful, as if the invisible connection between you is slowly fading. Moments once shared now lack authenticity, creating a feeling of disconnection and loneliness. 2. Distant yet polite interaction. In American culture, politeness is highly valued to maintain harmony and avoid conflicts. However, when politeness lacks enthusiasm, conversations can easily feel distant and somewhat stiff. This often happens when someone wants to maintain a polite social front but isn't genuinely interested or invested in the conversation you're sharing. People who interact in a distant yet polite manner tend to respond briefly or even indifferently. You might share an exciting personal story, only to receive responses like, "That's nice," or "Sounds fun," without any follow-up questions or real interest. These replies feel like a door that opens momentarily but quickly closes, leaving you with the sense of being pushed away from the conversation. They also keep the conversation at a superficial level, avoiding deeper or more personal topics. It seems as though they are being polite simply because they feel it's the right thing to do, not because they truly want to spend time or energy connecting with you. This can make the relationship feel less genuine and meaningful than before, reduced to minimal social interaction. 3. Not proactively inviting you to social activities. If you notice you're no longer invited to familiar gatherings or events, this could be a sign that the other person is gradually withdrawing from the relationship. They might use excuses like, "We thought you wouldn't be interested," or "You're probably busy," to avoid hurting your feelings. In reality, this is a way to slowly reduce your presence in their life without having to say it directly. The lack of invitations may also come with other subtle actions, like not sharing details about upcoming events or only mentioning them briefly after they've already happened. You may feel like you're no longer part of the group, which can lead to feelings of sadness or doubt about the relationship's value. This is often a tactic used by people who wish to avoid direct conflict. They choose to sidestep, letting you gradually notice the change without needing an uncomfortable conversation. This sense of being excluded or left out can create a large gap between you, especially if you once shared a deep connection. 4. Frequently canceling or postponing plans. One of the most subtle ways to create distance is by frequently canceling or rescheduling plans. When someone repeatedly cancels with vague excuses like "something came up" or "today isn't a good day," it could indicate they no longer genuinely want to meet. They may use ambiguous reasons to avoid confrontation and spare your feelings. Constant cancellations aren't just a way to avoid meeting. They can also make you feel unimportant. If they consistently cancel plans with you, but manage to keep commitments with others, it's a clear signal that they're no longer interested in investing time in the relationship. The habit of postponing or failing to follow through with plans can lead to frustration and a gradual loss of trust. You might feel like you're the only one making an effort to maintain the relationship without any reciprocation from the other side. Over time, this behavior creates a natural distance, making the relationship feel increasingly cold and detached. 5. Not sharing personal feelings. When someone genuinely connects with you, they're usually open to sharing about their personal life, their joys, struggles, and even challenges. Sharing personal feelings is a way of opening up, showing trust, and building closeness. However, if you notice them increasingly avoiding discussions about their life or private emotions, it's often a clear sign they don't wish to deepen the relationship with you. People unwilling to share tend to keep conversations superficial, talking only about general topics, work, or impersonal stories. They might respond briefly and avoid asking follow-up questions, maintaining a safe distance in the conversation. Even if you're open and share things about yourself, they show little interest or curiosity, simply listening passively. Not sharing personal feelings isn't just a way to avoid intimacy. It also leaves you feeling unimportant to them. When others don't open up to us, it creates a sense of coldness, reducing the essential bond needed in any meaningful relationship. 6. Dry and cold tone of voice. Tone of voice can reveal a lot about a person's true feelings. When talking to someone they genuinely care about, their tone is warm, friendly, and open. However, when someone feels uncomfortable or doesn't want closeness, their tone may become dry, curt, or even cold, lacking enthusiasm. If you notice their voice has little to no emotion, with stiff or occasionally dismissive responses, this may be their way of expressing distance. People who don't want to connect often put minimal effort into their communication, making conversations feel unnatural and lacking in sincerity. It may feel like you're speaking with a stranger, even if you were once close. A dry and cold tone can leave you feeling unwelcome, as though you're being disregarded or no longer valued, even without saying it directly. A detached and emotionless tone clearly signals that the relationship is becoming more distant and strained. 7. Unwelcoming body language. Body language is an essential part of communication and often reveals what words cannot. When someone feels uncomfortable or doesn't want to maintain a close relationship, their body language reflects it clearly. They may avoid physical contact, such as refusing a handshake, keeping distance when seated, or even turning their body away from you during conversations. These actions create an invisible barrier, making you feel distanced without any explicit explanation. Some may show discomfort through small gestures, like crossing their arms, turning away, or frowning. While subtle, these signs convey a sense of distance, discouraging you from opening up. If you notice these actions frequently, they may be signaling that they're uncomfortable with your presence. This discomfort gradually builds an invisible wall between you. Body language doesn't just influence how you feel, it also intensifies tension in the relationship, fostering feelings of insecurity and isolation. This is their way of setting boundaries without words, a clear sign that they're not interested in becoming closer. 8. Avoiding topics related to you. One subtle yet important sign to gauge someone's genuine interest in you is how they react when you talk about your life. If you notice that they often avoid or change the subject when you share personal stories, this may indicate that they don't want to invest emotionally in the relationship. A person who isn't interested in you will often respond superficially or quickly shift topics without asking questions to understand your story better. They show little curiosity or interest in your life, feelings, or experiences. This can make you feel like your story isn't important and that they're not truly interested in getting to know you. When someone avoids discussing topics related to you, it not only creates distance but also signals a lack of sincerity. A meaningful relationship requires both parties to show interest and invest emotionally. If you're the only one sharing and making an effort to keep the conversation going, it creates an imbalance and leaves you feeling like they're only maintaining the relationship out of politeness. 9. Decreased emotional support. As we age, close relationships become not only about presence but also about emotional support, providing comfort and connection. A true friend is always willing to listen, share in your joys and sorrows, and especially be there when you need emotional backing. However, when someone begins to reduce their emotional support, offers little feedback on your stories, or stops sharing in your joys and pains, it can be a sign of growing distance. Someone who is no longer invested in the relationship will often respond perfunctorily when you share important feelings. Instead of showing empathy, they might only reply with phrases like, I understand, or really, without any follow-up questions or words of encouragement. This lack of engagement not only makes conversations feel dry, but also leads you to feel like you're carrying a one-sided relationship, devoid of genuine interaction. For older adults, having someone to share life's ups and downs with is incredibly valuable. If you sense that a friend no longer wants to share their feelings or isn't interested in what you're going through, this not only diminishes intimacy but also creates a significant rift in the relationship. Emotional support is what adds value to close relationships, and when it's absent, you will feel the coldness in every conversation. 10. Speaking in a curt or sarcastic manner. Words can be a bridge for sharing and empathy, but they can also serve as a tool to create distance or even cause harm when misused. When someone begins to frequently use sarcastic, mocking, or curt language, it is a clear sign that they may be concealing uncomfortable emotions they do not want to acknowledge directly. Sarcasm can manifest in seemingly harmless remarks that actually carry critical or belittling undertones. For example, when you share an achievement and they respond with, "Oh, how surprising, who would have thought?" in a sarcastic tone, you may feel disrespected or even belittled. Such comments can create an uncomfortable atmosphere and make you feel unwelcome. Speaking in a curt, rude, or mocking manner not only hurts but also breaks the connection between two people. Instead of showing interest, the person chooses to be unpleasant and distant through their words. Gradually, this makes you feel uncomfortable around them, leading to a gradual fracture in the relationship. A true friend would opt for sincere and open communication, while someone wishing to create distance often resorts to curt or sarcastic remarks as a means to maintain separation without having to express direct rejection. 11th, indifference to your success in any relationship. The interest and encouragement from close ones are essential sources of motivation, especially when you achieve a success or a significant milestone. Someone who truly cares will express joy and even pride when they see you making progress or accomplishing something meaningful. They may offer compliments, inquire about the journey you've taken, or simply celebrate with you. This is a way of showing that they not only value you, but also regard your achievements as part of the relationship. However, when someone displays indifference or aloofness towards your success, it can leave you feeling deflated and somewhat hurt. They may not congratulate you, respond perfunctorily, or even ignore the accomplishments you've worked hard to achieve. For example, if you share about a new project, they might reply with a nonchalant, "Oh, really? That's nice," without asking any further questions or showing any genuine interest. This indifference is not only a sign of a lack of support and encouragement, but also an indication that the relationship may lack sincerity. A true friend will not only stand by you when you face challenges, but will also be excited to share in your joy when you succeed. In contrast, someone who does not appreciate you may tend to maintain a cold attitude, showing little interest in your achievements, and may even harbor a bit of jealousy. Gradually, this indifference creates a sense that your efforts hold no value in their eyes, making the relationship feel rigid and devoid of the necessary connection. If you find yourself always having to keep the flame alive in the relationship, while the other person never responds sincerely, this is a clear sign that the relationship is not providing the support and encouragement you expect. As we mature, we become more aware of the value of authentic relationships and do not want to waste time on connections that do not bring comfort or joy. Recognizing these signs can help you make better choices about who to bond with and maintain appropriate distance from those who make you feel uncomfortable. It is important to protect your mental health and spend time with people who truly bring you joy and peace. If you find this video useful, inspiring, and motivating, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you won't miss our upcoming videos. If you enjoyed this video, leave a comment with the number 1, and if you feel the content wasn't quite right, comment with the number 2. Your feedback helps us improve and deliver better content. Thank you for taking the time to watch.